everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze, Breezeway Productions' The Breeze. And we are here today with Lindsay Lanzillotta, the head of aggregation at the Film Arcade Carousel. How are you, Lindsay?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So today
I wish we were in person.
Well, we're doing it digitally. This is how the shows are coming together. And today we're going to be talking about film distribution. Now, I know there's a lot of filmmakers out there that are curious to see how they can get their films out there into the market, the ever-changing market, which now, as we know, movie theaters aren't open everywhere. A lot of people are going on streaming services to watch different types of content, and they're trying to get their movie seen by as many people as they can. So let us start by talking a little bit about the Film Arcade Carousel.
Yes, well, and also please do interrupt if you have questions, because I tend to, now that I've educated myself as a producer and filmmaker, like I sometimes get ahead of myself thinking that your audience might know what I'm talking about. But let me tell you about what the Film Arcade Carousel provides. The Film Arcade itself is a North American distribution theatrical company that has been around for a number of years. Is a sister company to Cold Iron Pictures. And then we started Carousel earlier this year, which is to provide the service option, as we've been servicing indies through the Film Arcade, but a service option open to indies. And it was really also from coming to some companies had gone out of business that we had our previous titles with, and you wanted to be able to aggregate them somewhere, meaning putting them up on iTunes, putting it for transactional purchases, putting them up on Amazon for transactional purposes, putting them up on Google Play. So then you need an aggregator to do that. And there's lots of aggregators out there. We decided to take a little bit of a boutique angle on it in regards to like seeking out films that were underserved, under 2 million, also, they can be above 2 million. It just all depends on the needs of the film, and having a very transparent a la carte menu of what you want for distribution. Now, a lot of indies come to you at the time of distribution and they have very little money. So part of why we've reached out to you as well to talk to you about it was because we want to educate filmmakers in budgeting for this like you would budget for a location or insurance. In some ways, this is distribution insurance. Now everyone's trying to put money in for a contingency to add for COVID, but there's also like, if you have 5, 10, 15, 20, $100,000, depending on like what you want to do with a film, there is so much that you can do self-releasing that many filmmakers are unaware of, and you control your film. You know what's best for it. If this is an option that you want to have for you, we're here to help you through that with consultation and be transparent about how much it costs and how much we cost for providing you the service. So that's why we're very transparent on our website too, as well, that it breaks it down, but also we're here to have those. We've been making indies for a long time, everyone at the company, and we all kind of overlap. Some of us work in distribution and we're still making films. So we're here to try and be a helpful caretaker with your film to have it put out in distribution when you have the daunting idea that maybe I should do this myself if I haven't sold at Sundance for $10 million, which we all know it's not, happening for every film.
When you talk about independent films, that is quite a wide range of market, and that you said that films that were $2 million or under, a lot of people would be very anxious to be sending you their films. But when you vet films or when people submit them to you, do you ask that they would have certain things that come with that, so you're not seeing every independent film under the sun? Is there like a criteria that you would go through to make sure that they would be seen by Film Carousel? Or do you guys have like a team of viewers that watch everything, or how does that work?
We do have some help watching the films, as well as like fielding, different films coming in. There really is no requirement. I mean, as Cold Iron itself has always been very perspective driven, so it leaves it open to all genre. Like, we're really here to, I would have to say, like, it has to be able to pass QC for sure. we're definitely
quality
seeking out.
control, like the sound is all good. And
Yeah,
all
like the
all
sound has to work, and yeah, because when you're delivering, there are certain requirements with that. We're certainly seeking out ourselves through filmmakers that we've known before, but we really want to expand that, because the more we're finding it, like just looking for filmmakers and that are underserved, is starting to realize like that's most filmmakers. Like, so we're trying to have an open mind, and but we'd love to have like a caretaken group of films that perhaps when you come to Film Arcade's carousel, or Film Arcade's website in general, you'd see all the films that we're providing services for, and hopefully that would be also a destination for you to, choose films that you might be interested in watching. But we're really all over the place, and I do find there's a lot of international reach out that we've been doing, which is exciting, because I'd love to bring some more foreign language films to North America that people find like the beast of North American distribution to be very daunting. I mean, I still do. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's interesting. Filmmakers right now are looking at a new frontier for where films are going to go. Since we're talking about the time of COVID, and movie theaters are really struggling, from Regal and AMC and all of the major chains across the country and across the world are like falling really, really quickly. So we hope that there's going to be a bounce back of theatrical distribution. But when filmmakers are now looking to move into that phase of where can I go with this type of distribution, and you talk about the Film Arcade Carousel having an a la carte menu, what kind of choices could a filmmaker have when they come to you with a film that you are interested in, and they say, hey, where can we go with this, and what can we see to happen with this in growth?
yeah. So on a very base level, if you're wanting to make sure that your film that you made carefully and with love, I'm sure, wants to have an audience outside of like your living room, and you want to put it in a gallery and have the opportunity for someone to purchase that product at a very base minimum, then you would choose our basic package, which would have you up on a transactional VOD, which we've discussed, like iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, that kind of thing. But then you can go to like a next package, which would take you to perhaps doing some sort of, there's two prongs to this, like a theatrical release if there's theaters there, or a theatrical awards qualifying release, or a theatrical special screening, perhaps, a promotional screening, if that's what you want, even for your transactional VOD to get word of mouth out. There's also then, it flips now to, if COVID's still happening, virtual screenings, as well as perhaps even looking at, if you started in transactional VOD, you hold the rights of your film. So there's still the opportunity of, if you're starting to create some hype for it, we can help you with SVOD or AVOD, which is like different kinds of platforms that you can go out. AVOD being like advertising, video on demand. And then there's all kinds of choices that you can pick from that are on there. And we can try and help you on a consultation basis. We can also help you even try to get into certain like film festivals. We can advise on that kind of thing, depending on where you're at. Because now I have films coming to me at the very beginning asking me like, what should I budget for if I wanted to do a special social media campaign for my film when this is done, and go up on transactional VOD if we can't get a really great sale to Netflix. So all of those things are options for you to plan for and for you to be prepared for. And it surprisingly doesn't have to be as expensive to like niche market your film, especially if you're making a lot of indie films know their audience. So it's you knowing your film and you knowing best, but also we're not all marketing experts. We're not all distribution experts. So we're here to help the indie find out what the best path is, and also not to waste your money. We have a lot of experience of having films that have made money and not made money. So,
Is there
better for worse.
Yeah, well, when people get into the film game and that they're starting to make their stories and see how the film blossoms after they get through their first feature, and then they start to see what it's like out there with trying to get it distributed, even theatrically, limited or internationally, it's quite an endeavor and quite a perilous journey. So would you consider you and your associates also like good consultants to filmmakers when it comes to where they should go in that step? So if they were making their film and they wanted to think about distribution ahead of time, they can reach out to you and say, hey, we would like to work with you in the future, but we want to consult with you to see what we should do. And maybe you guys have a good temperature reading on how films are getting out there nowadays. Could they also work with you in that aspect?
Yeah, absolutely. They can call us as early as they want in the process. I think it behooves you to do so. I mean, Jason Beck, our head of the Film Arcade, has a depth of knowledge in distribution and has like a different viewpoint, for instance, than our CEO, Miranda Bailey, and Natalie Whalen's part of our distribution team as well. And there's a bunch of us at the office that we can all consult on these things, especially like if we don't have the answers, we have other vendors that we've worked with before and said, have you had luck with this? Like we can have some quick conversations and help point you in the right direction for what it is that you would want a la carte. Because we all know there's certain films that really, the transactional VOD is fine. That's what they want, right? Like, and that's it. Then they're out. Like, and then there's other people that have aspirations for their film to find a larger audience. So they're going to push for more, which is totally great too. So that's why we're leaving it up to everyone to control what their purpose of their filmmaking. And this goes for shorts, by the way, and features. We've just started to entertain the idea of shorts. We're going to bundle them, but now we're looking at adding shorts to the menu as well.
When a filmmaker comes to you, and let's say it's after their film festival tour, and that they say, hey, we've won Best Picture in this festival, and Best Actress in this festival, and it goes on, they show you all these laurels. Does that have any weight to your viewing of the project, saying that this has already garnered acclaim going through that process? Would that really rise to the top when you're saying, oh, this has been all over the place, we'd want to take a look at this?
Certainly, I mean, it helps, but it also helps in our decision of like advising on like how much money you should spend. Like although there have been like many good movies that have come across my desk that like don't have a single laurel on them that you're like, oh, but or an award worthy, but it's a great movie for, a particular audience. So I think it's important to look at the ones with and without. But also, if you have that many laurels, sometimes it's worth it to do a certain campaign and spend a little bit amount of money.
Sure.
So it definitely plays into the advice on like what you should do with a social media campaign or whatever kind of campaign it is that you want to do, or special screenings that perhaps you should consider, interviews that could take place with someone like yourself and other people, like, because there has to be, there's a story behind the story, right? Like that needs to play out, which I think is another thing. You can watch a movie and not even have heard about all of that. Yeah. I think that's where we're a little bit different from like your regular aggregator. We want to hear that story behind the story and help you.
Sure. I've been finding a lot of films recently when I've been going on Amazon Prime and Hulu and Netflix, where I'm saying, wow, and Shudder, which I just got into because it's October and Halloween is around, so I want to watch scary movies. And then I found like 3 Rob Zombie movies that I had never heard of or seen before.
Nice.
Like, how did this go like all out of my radar? I should have known about that. But see, even like those types of films can really go over audiences' heads, even when you haven't seen it in past years. We spoke about the Peanut Butter Falcon being a good example that you have used as a film for where it started and its independent roots and how it blew up into the success that it garnered from just being, well, personally, I think it's an amazing film. But when it talks about it's awesome, but it shows that it was very, very indie. It was a passion project by two filmmakers, like brothers, right?
I don't know if brothers or not, but yes, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and Shia was amazing, and they had another actor in it as well, Zach, I believe was his name.
And Zach and Dakota Fanning. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great film, but that was something that you talked about starting in an indie roots and then really started to grow into that type of amazing project that can be seen. So when filmmakers come to you, they don't need all the laurels in the world. They just need to have you know, a film that has good QC control and is really, it jumps off the page to you. And then you can begin discussions of distribution methods and showcasing what the a la carte menu could be for them to choose. And then you guys can collaborate in making the film grow together. Would that be like a good nutshell for what the Film Arcade Carousel is about?
Absolutely. We can come in at any stage. I love the education of early, but if you have a complete movie and you're coming now and you need an aggregator, we're also there to provide that for you. And hopefully, you know, welcome you to the Film Arcade / Cold Iron family. Like a huge part of doing this too is like, you know, Miranda and myself, we really love propping up filmmakers. So, so having relationships with these filmmakers, and maybe, you know, you never know, you might get involved in one of their future films in some way, but it's really wonderful to like broaden the community, even from us, that we can only make so many films a year within our company, but this just is an expansion of that that can form some lovely partnerships down the road, like in distribution and production in many ways. So
where can people
it's exciting prospects.
Where can people go to find out a little bit more about Film Arcade Carousel for the website? So we'll plug that, and then they can check out the website themselves.
Yeah, so the Film Arcade website at thefilmarcade.com. There's right there at the top, it says carousel. You can just click right on it. You can see the full menu there. If there's something that's not on that menu that's in your mind, I'm happy to discuss it with you. But also at the bottom, it has my direct email. So it's like Lanzillotta at thefilmarcade.com, which not everybody loves my spelling of my last name. So there's also Lindsay at coldironpictures.com if you need it.
For people seeing this, if you have a film that's looking for distribution, they can give you a shout. They'll send you the package, and then it'll be going across your desk, right?
Absolutely. I look at everything that comes in. So that's my job.
Very awesome. Well, independent filmmakers, I hope you're listening. If you're looking for distribution and you have a project that seems like it's right for the Film Arcade Carousel, here is the chance. There's the email. It's just put it together and then send it out and see what happens, because you never know. You never know what's on the other side of an email. It could be everything you've ever wanted. So,
well, this is why we're fully transparent. You have to have my email.
Yes, it's true. Transparency is very key. You know what you're getting when you are getting what you know. So
and control. Control is my key word. It's the other C, opposite of carousel and control. You need to if you want to control your destination, then here we are to take you on that ride. So
wise words. Wise words. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Lindsay, for speaking with us today. It was very illuminating, and I hope that independent filmmakers out there that are watching this check out the Film Arcade Carousel, and if they got a film, send it over to you, and then we can go and watch some more great movies.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. So appreciate it.
You got it. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time on Breezeway Productions, The Breeze.